Hi, it's Dr. Z. In this video, I will review effect size and summary and interpretation statements for a hypothesis test with chi-square for goodness of fit. Please feel free to pause the video at any time to take notes. Recall that effect size is a way to measure the size of the treatment effect. Effect size plays a role in statistical significance and is helpful with interpretation of research results. With a z-test, you learn how to calculate Cohen's d. With t-tests, you learn how to calculate an estimated d, while effect size for chi-square is Cohen's w. I know, a w. Unfortunately, it is a very complicated formula to calculate by hand. So, fortunately, you will not learn how to calculate effect size at this time. With a new hypothesis test, there will be new items to take into consideration for your summary statement. First, since we're using nominal variables and frequencies, we do not need to write the first sentence of a summary statement like we usually have for a t-test. Now we will only have one sentence for the summary statement. Second, we will continue to report degrees of freedom. A friendly reminder that the degrees of freedom formula for chi-square is new. Third, because chi-square is a non-parametric test and the new degrees of freedom formula is about the number of categories, we need to report n, or the total number of participants. Finally, we will not include effect size at this time. There is one new item to remember for the interpretation statement. In chi-square for goodness of fit, there are two types of null hypotheses: the null hypothesis of no preference and the null hypothesis of no difference from a known population. The wording of the interpretation statement will reflect the null hypothesis used in the calculations. So, if the chi-square calculations use a null hypothesis of no preference, then the interpretation statement should use the word preference as well. The summary statement for the lecture example should look like this. Since the chi-square calculations assumed a null of no preference, the summary statement uses the word preference. The parentheses here reflects the degrees of freedom and the value of n, or the total number of participants. And finally, this space here is where the value of the calculated chi-square from the Nearpod lesson would be. The interpretation statement will now consist of two sentences. After calculating the chi-square for goodness of fit, the chi-square score for the lecture example, which was in the Nearpod lesson, you completed an initial interpretation of what that chi-score value means. The first two sentences will come from this initial interpretation. The first sentence will explain whether or not there is a preference in toilet paper based on the chi-square value. And the second sentence will be more specific and identify what brand of toilet paper appears to be most preferred according to the observed frequencies. Because we did not calculate effect size, there will not be a third sentence for effect size. Whew! And after all that hard work learning about t-tests and ANOVA and Pearson correlation, I imagine it is a relief to see how much shorter the summary and interpretation statements are for a chi-square for goodness of fit.